My name is Vincent Bührer. I'm the second generation custodian, Bührer family custodian of Saxenburg Wine Farm. The affinity to Africa, and specifically South Africa, only came with my grandfather, who spent a lot of time on the Ivory Coast. So when he was in his early 20s, he ran plantations out there. I think he just instilled this Africa bug in the family, and my father specifically, who came here in 1974, fell in love, and then came back 15 years later with the vow that he wanted to build a home here for his wife and 5 children, and obviously a wine business. Always been very passionate about wine. We are driven by passion more than we are driven by shareholder dividends in that sense. So our mission is to make sure that we can reward our most loyal customers by producing consistently interesting, exceptional wines. This is what really drives us. That is our mission to them. Our internal mission is really to enjoy what we're doing, to wake up every morning and enjoy what we're doing, to surround ourselves with people that live, breathe, drink, and dream wine, viticulture, products, cohesion, family. That's our internal mission statement. The one thing that we realize is that family needs to be present, because that was our prerogative. And so when family is not present, you very quickly lose the swing of things, the momentum and so on. And so where family was totally present, the first sort of 15 years, that's where the brand was built. It was built from every aspect or every measurable that you could have that would define success, I guess. And then today what we're doing is that we're taking the best of that and we're remodeling it, and we're bringing it into modern times, and we are giving it the sort of fingerprint of the second generation that thinks differently, maybe, that aspires to other things, that puts focus on different areas. So what we've done today is that we've wanted to revive that flame of family business, of working together. I think the fact that quality wines, that has always been there. It's always been Syrah or Shiraz, and it's been Shiraz for much longer than it has been Syrah. The focus now more than ever is Syrah. It's obvious that if we could produce only one wine, Syrah would be it, over and over again. And I think even if we could plant only one variety and go back 30 years, Syrah would be it. Fact of the matter is that there are plenty of other varieties that do very well, and we've fallen in love with those wines, and we don't want to see them go anywhere. But the Syrah offering is growing, and it's becoming more serious vintage on vintage. It's terroir, terroir, terroir. Where we are here, we have pretty much everything going for us in that direction. The different sites, the soil types, the rainfall, the exposures. We have different clones in the ground. We can pick from southeast facing, northern, higher altitude. We can go up to 300 meters. We can go right down to 120 meters. We can pick from numerous different blocks, and it's this incredible variety in the right terroir that allows us to play. And I think we've seen incredible expressions, but I think what we're going to see in terms of Syrah coming from Saxenburg in the next 10 years with this current winemaking team, viticultural team, is going to be amazing. Saxenburg is almost this sleeping giant that is now waking up from its afternoon nap and is ready to take on the world. So I always say, we have a little bit of Pinotage because it's an homage to South Africa. We have some Cab, and it's an homage to Stellenbosch. And we have a lot of Syrah, and that is Saxenburg. We have so much land here and so much incredible potential that I would rather focus more on one variety, and I have no FOMO whatsoever of losing out on another. And I think that we're just very lucky that we have a variety which we are completely in love with here that does particularly well. Had it been something that we didn't like, I'm sure that would have been a difficult decision to make. We're located here in the Polkadraai Hills, and we believe in terroir and terroir-driven wines and the expression of all that. We know that Syrah does particularly well here. The decomposed granite, the different aspects, the daylight hours, everything works favorably for Syrah. And a lot of our neighbors think the same. You think of Reineke, think of the famous Caribou vineyard, think of all these incredible expressions of Syrah that are coming out. So what we're saying is that the Polkadraai, we call it the Polkadraai Collective, is something that we started during the lockdown, where there are a number of facets that we need to bring together. You need to have buy-in from everyone. No one is bigger than the cause, right? And at the risk of sounding like a revolutionary, but that everyone's voice carries the same weight. But I think it holds incredible merit. And look what it's doing for those countries that have done it well. I think in 10 years to come, we're going to be referring to the Polkadraai Hills for ourselves as much as we are going to refer to Stellenbosch. It is just going to tell the consumer, especially the educated consumer, almost an expectation of what there is to come. And we wanted to find an underlying sort of golden thread, if you will, that links the Polkadraai. And it was there. It was there in black and white, and you could see exactly the nuances, the aromatics, they were there. They were very, very similar. So you can call this almost, you know, the Polkadraai collective family, if you will. I think the strength is this incredible selection of talent that we have, young and old. I think it's the grit and the perseverance of individuals. I think it's the open-mindedness and the fact that people have traveled and they've looked outwards before they look inward. This absence of wanting to repeat ad nauseum the same thing over and over again, being curious and explorative and pushing the boundaries. Farmers being farmers, wine growers being wine growers, sharing, communicating, exchanging, and realizing that we have an opportunity and we better do something about it. Every good winemaker that I've met will tell you that wine is made in the vineyard. And if they don't know what's going on there, if they don't have some sort of say, then it's very, very difficult if they don't have some vision. For us, this was one of the great things with Dirk. He's very passionate about viticulture as well, and especially the more sustainable approaches in viticulture. It makes all the difference in the wine, all the difference, because they know exactly what they can expect more or less, and that falls in line with what they're ultimately looking to produce. I think the best thing that we did at the time is that we didn't roll over and kind of throw up our hands and give up, but it was to say, right, we're going to communicate now more than ever. We're alive, we're kicking, we're enthusiastic, we're hurt, we're gut shot, but we'll communicate, we'll share. We'll share what we are living through, and not just the heartaches and the pains and everything else, but the way in which we're going to rebuild. Think of it as a phoenix that rises from the ashes. This is something that we will never forget, and that it's what has encouraged us to do more. I mean, the fact that we wanted to produce better wine, that's always a given, but the fact that we want to give more, give back more as well. I'm really quite a strategic thinker. I certainly can't predict trends, but I like to think that I have a good nose for where things might be going. And the other thing I would say, I don't know if it's a success, but it may certainly lead to success, is finding good people and partnering with good people, building good teams that sort of stand the test of time. If you're going to take big risks, take them in good company. And that has always been that has definitely been my philosophy over the last 10 years and what I've come about. It's almost like a duty, I guess, right? It's not just a duty, but it's home. You don't know anything else. You don't want to know anything else. This is where you feel the most comfortable. This is where you feel the most in love. This is where you feel the most driven, the most passionate. It's very easy to chop and change and to move. It's very difficult to persevere, I guess. We've done it for 30 years. We've got big, ambitious plans. We're gonna power on from here.